Coming back for day 2 from Scotland Yard, today's game between the Highland Park Scots and the Saxe Mustangs about to get underway as we have Walker Anderson up on the mound for the Scots, and he'll lead off things with a strike. That's going to Jet Creel, the catcher for the Mustangs. 0-1, the count to Creel. Creel sporting some work gloves as he lost this one towards third base, and that'll be picked up. That'll be picked up by Preston Gamster. Gamster over at short. I do apologize. I just got these lineups a few minutes ago, so I'm still working out a few bugs. Seeing a lot of new names a couple of new names and a lot of interesting little matchups, little positions for the Scots here today. Noticeable one, Patrick Turner, designated hitter, not in the field for today's afternoon matchup. 1-0 the count from Anderson. Misses outside for ball 2 to Davis T. T is in left field for the Scots, or excuse me, for the Mustangs today. Anderson comes home, check swing, misses inside. Count at 3-1. Now to T. Anderson, the lone sophomore on the Scots team, as that'll be ball 4. T reaches first on a walk.
Shortstop, Jesse Ponce.
And that'll bring Jesse Ponce up to the plate. The Mustangs coming off of a heartbreaker to the McKinney Boyd Broncos. It was a very interesting 7th inning in that game. Mustangs ended up taking a 6-5 loss. We're down by 5 runs, down 6-1. Came back, almost completed the comeback as that ball gets away at second. That'll keep runners on now at first and second. Davis T now into second, and Jesse Ponce at first. And that was an attempt from Andrew Zahar, throwing it over to second. Bobbled by Gamster. Scots 1-0 on the day as they came off of a big 1-0 win over the McKinney Boyd Broncos this morning. Kyle Stanners now at the plate. Stanners, the designated hitter, as this pitch comes in. That's lifted. Should be foul, as that will be foul down the first base line. This is the final home game for the Scots this weekend. They'll be traveling to Prosper for tomorrow's game. That'll be at 11 o'clock against Prosper. That'll be here on Game On Sports. Very interesting is that Prosper game still part of the Scotland Yard Classic. It's the first time in a long time that the Scots will play the Scotland Yard Classic away from Scotland Yard. One and two the count, one away. Ball misses outside. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anderson brings this one home. That's lifted. That should get foul. That'll land in the crowd, it looks like. And that will be stopped. Lands on top of the netting, as you saw fans really rush to get out of the way of that incoming foul ball. Luckily, no one was hit. 2-2 remains the count, one away. Runners on first and second, infield flyer rule in effect. Anderson looks over at second before coming home. Anderson, favorite baseball player, Hall of Famer Derek Jeter. Full count, one away. Here's the pitch. Ripped down the third baseline, and that's picked up. And throw to first is in time for the third out. And that was Kraus making the grab from third. Throw to first is in time. That'll end the inning. Mustangs go down relatively quietly. No runs on no hits, 1 error, and 2 left stranded. We'll be back. Bottom half of the first coming up on Game On Sports. Bottom half of the first inning coming up from Scotland Yard Highland Park High School. And due up for the Scots starting things off. New leadoff hitter for the Scots as Pete McCon will get us started here in the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless after the top half of the first. Still no runs, no hits for the Mustangs, no runs either. As Pete McCon steps in the right-handed box, and this first pitch misses inside for ball 1. And on the mound for the Mustangs is going to be 21, Alex Rangel. Rangel, the right-hander, comes home, misses in the dirt. Brings the count to 2. Oh, I do apologize. On the mound is actually Nathan Darden. Rangel, the fielder who's not in the lineup, but not the pitcher. And again, I do apologize. Still trying to get these lineups and everything situated. I'll have that here shortly as the count becomes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to McCann. Pete McCann did not play. Played a little bit, actually, in this morning's game. Acted as a pinch runner in this morning's game. Count stays at 3-2. Darden has his sign. He comes home. Big swing and a miss. He got him swinging. So McCann with a strikeout to start the game, and that'll bring up Harrison Duggar now. Duggar out in center field. Going through the lineup for the Scots in this lineup, brought to you by Chips Old Fashioned Hamburgers, the best burger ever. Pete McCann just started things off with a strikeout. Harrison Duggar up at the plate now. He'll be followed by Patrick Turner, Preston Gamster in the 4-hole playing shortstop, followed by Jack Curtis in the 5-hole. Hunter Kraus playing third, followed by Jack Rich in the 7-hole. Andrew Zahar batting 8th and playing second base, and then Henry Shearer, the catcher, will be bringing up the rear in the 9-hole. Count at 1-0 with 1 away to Duggar, as he ended 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. Also reached base with a walk. And 2-0 now the count to the center fielder, as Darden ready to go. And that one misses for ball 3. Darden brings this one down the pipe, as that brings up 3-1 now to Duggar. Duggar looking for that fastball on this next pitch. Here comes Darden. Misses down low for ball 4. So Duggar into first with a walk, and that'll be the first base runner for the Scots in this game, as Patrick Turner is preparing to step up to the plate. Turner, as I mentioned, the designated hitter. One of the only times that Turner has not played in the field this season. Turner plays outfield, also a first baseman. This one is ripped foul that heads out of play. Oh, 1 the count, 1 away. Oh, 1. Darden misses outside. As somebody, it did hit a car, one of the passers-by. She wasn't even here for the game. Doesn't look like it's cracked. Just a little scared there as she drives off. Two 2-1 the count, 1 away. Turner ended 1 for 3 in this morning's game with a single and then also a pair of strikeouts. Turner, fan of signature drink Arnold Palmer's. Those of you that are unfamiliar with the Arnold Palmer, that is half tea and half lemonade. Turner with a deep breath, and he steps back into the box. We're just about ready to go. Darden preparing the 3-1 pitch. Takes a quick look over at second. He comes home. Big hack, fouled off, and that other ball that was actually fouled up earlier comes back down as well. First hit of the game for either team. 3-2. Here's the pitch. Misses outside for ball 4. That's back-to-back walks. Duggar now on at second, and Turner on first after those walks. And that'll bring Preston Gamster up to the plate.
Shortstop, Preston Gamster.
A couple of noticeable absences in the lineup today. Jirovec will not be playing, well, not starting in this 4 o'clock game. This one lifted into right field. That'll be brought in. And that was Carson Sowell bringing that one in. So that brings Jack Curtis up to the plate now.
Right fielder, Jack Curtis.
Curtis, the big junior, future D1 football player, possible D1 football player. As Darden delivers. And apologize, I must have missed something because Harrison Duggar now stands on third base as Turner stands on first. So Curtis with a 1-0 count with 2 away. First run 90 feet away, throw down to second, runner goes. Throw to second is not in time, and there will be no throw home as Harrison Duggar going to come in from third to score that opening run for the Scots. And then Turner going to be into second. Scots now lead 1-0, matching their score from this morning where they beat a very talented McKinney Boyd Broncos team. That foul ball heading over. Hopefully that didn't hit anybody. Couple of unlucky passers-by have been subject to foul balls. Foul ball is dangerous to any vehicle. 2-1, 2 away. That one hit high and fouled off. That evens the count 2-2 with 2 outs. Curtis going to be playing in right field for the Scots this afternoon. Standing in at, I mentioned he was a big junior, standing at 6'4", 225 pounds. Count becomes full now to the right fielder. Curtis's dream job, after going D1, he hopes to become an NFL player. As that becomes low, and Curtis now reaches base with a walk, brings runners first and second, 2 away. No infield fly roll with Hunter Kraus stepping up to the plate.
Third baseman, Hunter Kraus.
Kraus last game went 0 for 1. This one lifted into right field. That could be trouble. And that'll drop fair down the first base line. One run will score. Patrick Turner comes in. Jack Curtis follows right behind him. And Hunter Kraus with a sliding triple down the first base line. And the Scots open this one wide as they now take a 3-0 lead. So that was trouble for Sewell as he hustled after that ball, just could not get to it as that landed just a foot from the first base line.
First baseman.
And the Scots now lead 3-0 here in the bottom half of the first. Jack Rich now up to the plate. He faces an 0-1 count with 2 away. Nathan Darden awaiting his sign. Sign coming from Jet Creel. That ball misses low and outside. Rich in the right-handed box. Pitch comes in. He chases and does not connect. He'll go down swinging. That'll end the first inning, but for the Scots take a good 3-0 lead after that 2-out triple from Hunter Kraus. Stay with us. After one full inning of action, Scots lead 3-0.
Pitcher Patrick Darden. Direction Nathan Darden.
Go Patrick.
Back for top of the second inning as that first pitch hits Nathan Darden. And that'll bring Chris Marcellus right up to the plate. So due up for the Mustangs now. Darden, of course, now on first. Chris Marcellus up at the dish, and then Harper Howard will now be in the hole, or on deck, and Braden Burloqua will be in the hole. Throw down to first, not in time. Good effort there, diving Rich. Can't make the tag. Scots Baseball today brought to you by Vista Bank. Vista Bank, entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912. Anderson delivers this pitch. Bunt is shown, but cannot be laid down as that's fouled off. Oh, and 1 the count to Marcellus. Marcellus, the center fielder. Oh, and 1 the count. Anderson comes home. Bunt laid down towards the third base line. That'll be picked up by Anderson. Toss over to first is in time for that first out. So Marcellus goes down with that 1-3 putout, bringing up Harper Howard now to the plate. Howard, the first baseman. Going around the dish, or going around the horn for the Scots. Once again, Anderson currently on the mound. Henry Shearer behind the plate. We have Kraus at third, Gamster, and Zahar up the middle. Gamster at short, Zahar at second, and then Jack Rich over at first. Pete McCon playing in left field. Harrison Duggar in center, and Jack Curtis will be in right. Oh, 1 with 1 away to Howard. He's in the left-handed box. Shearer sets up to the outside. Throw misses up high. That'll even the count at 1-1. Scott's currently 1-2 on the weekend. Had 2 losses yesterday and 1 win so far today. Looking for that second win. So hopefully start out this homestand, finish this homestand with a 2-2 record. Anderson ready with a 1-2. Takes a quick look over at second. No one holding him on. Here's the pitch. Fouled off as that touches the glove of Shearer, but he can't make the grab. That'll keep the count at 1-2. Anderson has it. Here he comes. Fouled off once again. And again, keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Anderson standing at 5'10", 160 pounds, pitcher as well as an outfielder. Ball hit down towards the third base line. That'll be picked up by Kraus. Throw to first is in time. Throw back over to third will not be in time, as it's going to be Nathan Darden now at third base. And that brings Braden Berloqua up to the plate. And Berloqua actually not on this roster that I have here for the Mustangs. Nonetheless, he is dressed out and at bat as he faces an 0-1 count. 2 away, Scots with the 3-0 lead. And that hits him as he'll head down to first. Runners now on the corners for Carson Sewell. As Coach Yoder is going to have a talk with his infield now. The outfield will also come a little closer to have a little quick conversation. Anderson claims if he were stranded on a deserted island, the one thing he would take with him is, of course, a boat. Quite a smart answer there from Anderson. Probably the best thing you could take on an island.
Mustangs. Right fielder Carson Sowell.
And with runners on the corners, that'll bring up Carson Sowell for his first at bat. Anderson with a look over at first. Has a sign from Shearer, and we're just about ready to get going here. That pitch hit over to short. That's going to be picked up by Gamster. He'll toss it over to second. Zahar steps on the bag for the third out, and that will end the inning. Mustangs go down 2 left stranded as they fail to score any runs. Scots still lead 3-0 midway through 2. Stay with us. You're watching Highland Park Scots baseball on Game On Sports.
Taking it off you right at that point.
Check out Guitar George.
Bottom half of the second inning coming up from Scotland Yard. Scots have a 3-0 lead heading into the bottom of the second as Andrew Zahar gets ready to start things off in this bottom of the second. Zahar, he'll be followed by Henry Shearer, and then Pete McCann in the one hole will come back up for his second at bat. Zahar did not take the field this morning. This is going to be his first game of the day. This ball is swung on and hit into right field. That'll be brought in by Sowell. And that'll be one away. That goes down. Is that F9 for Henry Shearer coming up. Shearer, the 9-hole hitter, as he has been the catcher for the Scots in 3 of the 4 games so far this weekend. Bowers has not seen the field today. Hopefully just a rest day. We hope he's okay. Count at 0-1 with 1 away. Shearer in the right-handed box. No runners on. And Darden comes home. That is a called strike. Brings the count to 0-2 to the catcher. Shearer at 5'8", 155. Ball hitting to right field, and that will be brought in by Sowell. 2 F9s in a row for Pete McCann stepping up to the plate. McCann 0 for 1. He started things off with a strikeout back in the bottom half of the first inning. McCann, the junior, nicknamed Pecan, standing at 6'2", 175 pounds. His dream job is to be the general manager of a professional sports team. Did not disclose what sport that would be. Hopes to just work for any professional team. 1-0 the count with 2 away. Here's the pitch. Ball misses down low, gets past the glove of Creel. That'll bring the count to 2-0. McCon, big Houston Astros fan as well as a fan of Justin Verlander. Listed Verlander as his favorite player. 2-1, 2 away. Ripped down the third baseline, and that is stopped by Bruloqua. Throw to first. Big stretch. Throw is in time, but the umpire says that Howard was off the bag, and so McCon will reach first. And that goes down as an E5 for Harrison Duggar. Duggar, one of the captains, at 6'2", 170 pounds. As that first pitch misses on the outside for ball one.
At the plate, center fielder Harrison Duggar.
Duggar reached on a walk in his first at-bat, also one of the 3 runs for the Scots. He was the first to reach home back in the first inning. Pitch from Darden misses in the dirt for ball 2. Duggar's favorite baseball memory, sophomore year when the Scots played round 2 of the UIL playoffs at Globe Life Park in Arlington. Globe Life Park, no longer a baseball field. It has been transformed into a football/soccer stadium, as the Rangers have now moved to Globe Life Field. Very similar. I still confuse myself sometimes on which one is which. Three 3-1 the count coming up to Duggar. Runner on first. Darden comes home. Called strike on the outside corner. Makes the count full at 3-2. Harrison plans on going to Clemson. He'll be studying biomedical engineering. 3-2. Ball fouled off. That'll keep the count full at 3-2. And McCon going to have to trot on back to first after he tried to steal second. The future biomedical engineering major, his dream job is to work at Lockheed Martin. As Duggar now reaches first after being hit by a pitch. Lots of wild pitches so far today, both from the Scots and
Designated hitter
from
Patrick
both
Turner.
the Broncos and Mustangs. Brings Patrick Turner up with runners on first and second. That's McCon over at second base, and Duggar now at first. Darden comes home. The ball hit towards the gap. That's through for a base hit past shortstop. And Coach Yoder going to hold McCon at third, and that'll load the bases up. McCon now into third, Duggar into second, and Turner now stands at first after that single. Preston Gamster up at the plate with a chance to really blow this game wide open. The Scots already leading 3-0. Chance to increase their lead to 4 runs or more.
Preston Gamster.
This just in, for those Ranger fans, as I know a lot of these players, such as Preston Gamster, are big Rangers fans. Rangers just came off of a 3-2 win. Ball hit over to pitcher's mound. Throw to first is in time, and that will end the bottom of the second inning. The Scots go down, can't capitalize on that bases loaded opportunity, but they, however, still have a 3-0 lead after 2 full innings of play. Stay with us. You're watching Game On Sports. Now the third inning coming up from Scotland Yard, home of the 2021 Scotland Yard Classic, as we might have the biggest crowd for this afternoon's game. Might be the biggest crowd that we've had all tournament long. As you see, quite a few seats filled, both in the middle area as well as the seating area down the third base line. Count opens up at 0-1 for Jet Creel. Creel, the number one hitter for the Mustangs. 1-2-3, Jet Creel, followed by Davis T. and Jesse Ponce.
Where's that last inning?
This count goes to 0-2 now
Make a decision.
to the Mustang catcher. Creel, with one plate appearance, he got hit by a pitch in his first at-bat,
Hold it.
as he sports those work gloves that I mentioned earlier. Most players use traditional batting gloves. However, some players choose work gloves, farming gloves, so to speak. 1-2, misses in the dirt, gets away from Shearer's glove. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, keep battling, kid.
The Mustangs still without a hit so far in this game. This one's lifted into left field. That'll be picked up by McCann for the first out. So with the one away after that F7 put out, for those of y'all keeping score at home, that brings up Davis T., who reached the base on a walk in the first.
Left fielder David T.
Anderson, a simple nickname, nicknamed Walk, just short for Walker. Loves the TV show Outer Banks. Y'all can catch that on Netflix. Very good, I must say. Got to watch it back during quarantine. One and one the count with one away. T up at the plate, no runners on. That is a called strike. That brings the count to 1-2. Anderson looking for his first strikeout of the day. Pitch misses outside, evens the count 2-2. Anderson, little interesting favorite food drink combination as that pitch misses outside. Fan of lemonade and pretzel M&Ms. And hopefully, maybe his go-to snack. Not sure how that would taste together. 3-2. Misses down low for ball 4. So T reaches first after that full count walk, and that brings Jesse Ponce up to the plate.
Come on, Jesse.
Brings up shortstop Jesse Ponce.
Ponce, one plate appearance, reached base on an error. Back in the first inning, second base runner for the Mustangs in that first inning, as this one's lifted over behind first base. That'll be brought in by Zahar. Had to cover quite a bit of ground, and he met up with Jack Curtis to make that grab. Two away, runner on first brings up Kyle Stanners. Stanners, designated hitter, currently at 0 for 1, had a ground out that ended the first inning. And this one's lofted over behind first base, and that's dropped by Rich, as that'll drop foul. Rich had a chance to end that inning. Was a difficult catch. Tried to make that catch from behind. As that lands just past his glove. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. As Stanner's back in the right-handed box. And that is a called strike, brings the count to 1-2. Anderson comes home. Misses down low. Ball gets away from Shearer. And T going to head into second as the count becomes 2-2 to Stanners. 2-2 with 2 away. And the hats are shaking from the Mustang dugout. Anderson with the pitch. Hit over towards second. Zahar dives for it. Can't come up with it. That's going to be Jack Curtis chunking it to Jack Rich. Throw will not make it home, and the Mustangs are on the board. T comes in from second. Meanwhile, Stanners on first with that single. And that brings Nathan Darden up to the plate. Darden, 1 plate appearance. He got hit by a pitch in the second inning that started things off. Little group meeting between Gamster, Anderson, and Shearer, that is.
Brings up pitcher Nathan Darden.
And Nathan Darden up at the plate. First pitch is a called strike, brings the count to 0-1. Chris Marcellus, who's 0 for 1 as well, on deck. Bullet over towards second, picked up by Zahar. He's going to toss it over to first for that third out. That ends the top half of the third. Mustangs reach the board. Scots still hold a 2-run lead heading into the bottom half of the third. Stay with us. You're watching Scots Baseball on Game On Sports. Bottom half of the third coming up from Scotland Yard. Scots taking on the Saxe Mustangs as the Scots maintain that 3-1 lead heading into the bottom half of the third. Due up for the Scots, Jack Curtis. He'll be followed by Hunter Kraus, and Jack Rich will be in the hole. Jack Curtis starting things off had a walk back in the first inning. This one misses low for ball 1. Nathan Darden back on the mound for the Mustangs, getting his third inning of action. As that's a high drive into left field, and that's going to be settled under by T for the grab, and that is the first out. Curtis with that F7 put out, bringing up Hunter Kraus. Kraus 1-for-1 had that big triple, that 2-run triple back in the first that really got this game going for the Scots.
Third baseman Hunter Kraus.
Kraus, the senior, standing at 5'9", 180 pounds. Kraus claims that if he were on a deserted island, he would take sunscreen. Sunscreen also very important. Not sure how long you'd last only having sunscreen, but at least you'd avoid sunburn. Kraus also thinks he would be voted most likely to put on sunscreen no matter what the weather is. So there's a high chance he probably has sunscreen on right now. Ball chopped down the third base line. That goes foul. Brings the count to... Stays the count, keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ball gets past the glove of Creel, evening the count 2-2. Scots, again, wearing their all-white jerseys that they also sported this afternoon, or this morning, actually. Very similar to their pinstripe jerseys, just no pinstripes. And the only stripes on those jerseys are yellow outlined in navy. Ball hit over to short. That's picked up by Ponce. Throw to first is in time for that second out. Goes down as a 6-3 put out. And Jack Rich now stepping up to the plate. All games so far today have moved very fast. Not very many hits. Except for that 6-5 game between the Mustangs and the Broncos. However, that game still finished ahead of schedule. All games have lasted the full 7 innings so far, as we have a 2-hour and 50-minute time limit. That is a high fly ball hit down the third base line, and that goes foul. As Jack Rich misses, now goes to an 0-1 count with 2 away. Rich, first baseman, he also plays outfield. We haven't seen him in the outfield. He's the usual first baseman for the Scots. As Darden comes home, swings, and gets a piece of it, but can't connect. Count at 0-2 now. Oh and 2 count, misses up high for ball 1, brings the count to 1-2. Cloudy day from Scotland Yard, no rain. There was rain, a little bit of rain this morning, and there was also some pretty heavy downpour during the game before this one against the Mustangs, between the Mustangs and the Broncos. Two and two now the count with 2 away. The hats are shaking over in the Scots dugout. And 2-2. Tiebreaker pitch misses down low and outside for full count. Full count, 2 away. No runners on, as we've had 2 up, 2 down so far. Payoff pitch coming in. Misses down low for ball 4. So Jack Rich reaches on a walk. And that full count has not been kind to Nathan Darden. Only 1 out to show for all those full counts. That's 1
Second baseman, Andrew
out of 5. 1 out of 5 full counts have had a strikeout. The other 4 have either been bases on balls or a hit batter. There's also No, they've all been either walks or hit batters. Runner goes from first, throw down to second. Good throw there from Creel, and he got him. That throw right on the money from the Mustangs catcher, and that will end the third inning. The Scots go down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left stranded. As when we come back for the bottom of the third, or bottom of the fourth, that is, Andrew Zahar is going to be back up to the plate. And we'll be right back. Scots leading 3-1. Top of the fourth inning of action coming up from Scotland Yard. This game between the Scots and the Saxe Mustangs. As due up for the Mustangs is going to be Chris Marcellus. He'll be followed by Harper Howard and Braden Verloqua. And on the mound for the Scots, once again, Walker Anderson back on the mound for his fourth inning of work. Ball missing just on the inside. Once again, umpires not giving any kind of leeway with that strike zone. Really focusing on that 18 inches, knees to chest strike zone. Count evens up, 1 ball and 1 strike. That ball from Marcellus is fouled off. That keeps the count, brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marcellus 0 for 1. He had a ground out back in the second. That ground out went straight back to Anderson. He tossed it over to first for the putout. One, 2 the count. Big swing and a miss. He got him swinging. That's the first strikeout of the game for Anderson. And with 1 away, that brings Harper Howard up to the plate.
First baseman, Harper Howard.
Howard 0 for 1 as well with a ground out as he prepares for this first pitch from Anderson. Ball misses down low. And the count goes to 1-0 to Howard. Pitch from Anderson. That's chopped. Looked like a fair ball, but the umpire says no, that hit him. So that'll go down as a foul, bringing the count even at 1-1. Howard plays pitcher and first base for the Mustangs. The junior watches this one go in low. As that brings the count to 2-1 with 1 away. No runners on, as Marcellus started things off this inning with a strikeout. Wind starting to pick up, blowing out of left field. As that ball goes foul. Hits near the batting cages down the third base line. That'll even up the count 2-2 with 1 away. Scott's still leading 3-1. That breaking ball on the inside, that's pulled and fouled. So it'll be Justin Mascoro hustling to grab that ball. Two and two, one away. Here's the pitch. That's fouled off. Keeps the count at 2-2. And you know what? Braden Berloqua, who is on deck, not even on the Saxy roster, on the Saxy website. Really makes you wonder where he came from. Two and two again, the count, one away. Howard watches that one go up high. As the count becomes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes, one away. And that's fouled off. Quite a battle going on between Howard and Anderson. So you can hear the support coming from both the Mustang crowd and the Scots crowd alike. Three and two, here's the pitch. That's lifted into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. And that'll be Duggar coming up with that one, tossing it in. And that'll be a 1-out hit for Howard as he is into first. Brings Braden Berloqua up to the plate.
Third baseman, Braden Bevilacqua.
Berloqua in the right-handed box. Anderson comes home. Shearer almost lost that one as well, as he finds that just before Howard can advance to second. Makes the count 1-0 with 1 away. Scots once again finishing up the Scotland Yard Classic tomorrow morning. That'll be at 11 a.m. against the Prosper Eagles in Prosper. Scots last weekend faced the Eagles in Prosper as well. Things didn't go so well for that game as the Scots ended up taking a 10-0 loss. And that was in just 4 innings. Eagles ended up reaching the mercy rule, that 10 after 4 rule. Pitch misses outside. Brings the count to 3-0 now. That's a 4-pitch walk. Berloqua reaches first. That'll bring runners to first and second for Carson Sowell. And Coach Yoder is going to head on out to the mound, and that looks like that could do it for Anderson. We'll see what Yoder decides to do. He's going to have a little conversation with his whole infield. The outfield decides to stay put. Sowell currently 0 for 1. Did end up reaching first. However, the inning ended on a fielder's choice. And we're about to get back to action. Anderson still on the mound for the Scots as that brings Carson Sowell up to the plate.
Oh, 7.
Right fielder Carson Sowell.
As well, pitcher, as well as an outfielder for the Mustangs. Sophomore pitcher battling against a senior batter. So, well, the right fielder in today's matchup. Bunt is shown, cannot connect, throw over to first. Rich, just too far from the bag, can't make the tag in time. Berloqua, that is, way off the bag. Chance for a pickoff, but Rich just a little too far away from first. Bunt shown, not shown, as that is a trick play attempt. Not successful this time, as Howard not even fazed by that play. Oh, and one out. Anderson, bunt shown, popped up, and that will go off the netting. As that brings the count to 0-2 now. So, well, most likely not going to bunt, attempt to bunt for this third with this 0-2 count. Those of you that don't know, if a batter attempts a bunt with 2 strikes and fouls it off, he's automatically out. So most of the time you don't see a bunt with 2 strikes. However, you'll see one brave soul try it out. 0-2 the count. Bunt called, strike 3, as the bunt shown and pulled back. Sowell goes down looking, and that's the second strikeout for Walker Anderson. 2 away, runners on first and second now.
Brings up catcher Jet Creel.
And that brings Jet Creel back up to the plate. Creel 0 for 1. Reached after being hit by a pitch to start things off, and then he had a fly out back in the third. Anderson taking a long look over at Howard at second base before stepping on the mound. Getting a sign from Shearer, and he comes set. 1-2. Excuse me, no pitch, as runners on first and second. That's what I meant by 1-2, as that first pitch is fouled off, bringing the count to 0-1. One from Anderson on the way. Missing just on the outside. Evens the count out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Davis T on deck. Reached with 2 walks so far today. He's reached home once as well. The lone run for the Mustangs so far. 1-1 pitch from Anderson is fouled off. The count falls to 1-2. One, two. Ball misses too far outside. That goes halfway in the right-handed box. Brings the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Mustangs looking for their first win at Scotland Yard today and this season. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Ball ripped back up the middle into center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. One run could score. Throw in from Duggar. Will not make it. Throw over to third. Not in time. As that is a 2-out single for Jet Creel. And that scores another run. The Mustangs are within 1 run. Howard coming in from second. Berloqua into third. And Davis T now stepping up to the plate. We're going to have a courtesy runner here, as that's going to be that is going to be Cole Robertson now at first.
At the plate, left fielder, Davis T.
First pitch from Anderson misses a little outside. T, as I mentioned earlier, reached with 2 walks so far today. No at-bats, as he's had 2 plate appearances. Did reach home back in the third, the first run for the Mustangs. Take this time to give a quick shout out to Audi Dallas, the #1 Texas Audi dealer, as well as Venture X Dallas Park Cities, the future of workspace. 1-0 pitch is hit past first base for a base hit. That'll get in. Jack Curtis going to launch that one in, and then we have a tie game as Berloqua comes in from third. And we have a 3-3 ball game. Jack Creel now in to second. That's going to be T into first.
Brings up shortstop,
Jesse Ponce now stepping up to the plate. Ponce with Ponce at 0 for 2, actually, as reached base with on a fielder's choice that ended up being an error back in the first, and then had a fly out back in the third. 0-1 the count with 2 away. Ball swung on and fouled down the third base line, brings the count to 0-2. Ponce, the shortstop for the Mustangs today. Ponce also plays second base and stands in as a junior this season for the Mustangs. Ball hit between first and second. That'll get in for a base hit. Jack Curtis going to chunk that one in. Play at the plate will not happen as the Mustangs now take a 4-3 lead. Creel coming in from second. And T into second base as we will keep runners at first and second. Ponce with an RBI single. And that will do it for Anderson, as we're going to have a pitching change. That is Gavin Parati coming in to pitch for the Scots. And we're going to take a break. Mustangs take the lead 4-3. Back in action for this top of the 4th inning. Mustangs have taken a 4-3 lead, and in place of Walker Anderson, Gavin Perotti will now be up on the mound for the Scots.
Pitching for Highland Park, Kevin Perotti.
Brings Kyle Stanners up to the plate.
At the plate, designated hitter, Kyle Stanners.
Stanners at 1 for 2 with a ground out, and he also had a single back in the top of the 3rd. Perotti standing at 5'10", 160 pounds. The senior pitcher now into pitch. He's had a couple of outings. His most recent was against the Denison Yellow Jackets last weekend in Allen. Ball misses down low. Brings a 2-0 count now to Stanners. Stanners 1 for 2 with a ground out and a single so far to his name. That one misses for ball 3. 3-0 the count. Perotti looking to have to fight back in this at-bat. And that is ball 3. I apologize, had that count wrong. As we now have a 3-0 count. Perotti, his deserted island answer, very similar to Walker Anderson. Anderson claimed that he would take a boat on a deserted island. Perotti answered with a plane, a much faster form of travel. 3-1, 2 away. Here's the pitch. Misses up high for ball 4. That'll load the bases up with 2 away. And a little bit of a 2-out rally here for the Mustangs, with Nathan Darden coming up to the plate. Darden, the only remaining batter that has not had an at-bat so far in this half inning. The Scots need to stop the bleeding here by getting that all-important 3rd out. Ball gets away from Shearer. Good stop there, keeping it in front of him at least. Brings a 1-0 count. Perotti's 1-0 pitch, that misses down low. That breaking ball can't find the zone, brings the count to 2-0 now.
Call 3, nowhere to put your kid. Let's go. Right here, 1-6.
Perotti claims his favorite Highland Park baseball memory. This time, Coach Roan put down, an, as he says, an absolute dime piece of a bunt. I wish I could have seen what a dime piece that bunt was. Ball misses down low in the dirt once again for ball 3. Brought it with the 3-0. Misses down low in a 4-pitch walk. That'll walk in a run as T comes in from 3rd. Ponce now in to 3rd. Stanners at 2nd. And Scott's pitching after having an outstanding first game. Ben Bailey throwing a complete game 2-hitter. Pitching staff struggling just a little bit in this game against the Mustangs. Leading 3-1 after the 3rd inning. Scots have given up 4 straight runs in this half inning. So the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike now to Chris Marcellus. Marcellus already with one at bat in this inning as that ball gets away from Shears, lunges at it as no runners come home. 2-1 the count to Marcellus, who already has a strikeout in this half inning. He started things off with a strikeout. Perotti claims his nickname, just Gavin. So just his first name is also his nickname. 2-1, 2 away. Breaking ball misses outside for ball 3. And Shearer really getting a workout in as he's had to jump in front of quite a few pitches so far today, especially this afternoon. Hitters count coming up. Perotti comes home, and that is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Brings count full at 3-2.
Hey, relax the drum one, kid. Looking.
Three-two pitch. That's fouled off. Could land on a car. That'll land in the road and head into a neighboring yard. Luckily, no drivers were hit by that foul ball. We had a lot of fans from throughout the stadium stand up out of their seats to get a look, see, and make sure nobody was hit. And that'll walk in another run. Marcellus reaches first now. Ponce going to come in from third. Stanners heads to third. Darden now at second. And Marcellus will be at first. Scott's desperately in need of that third out. Really need to make a comeback here later on in this game. 0-1 the count now to Howard. Harper Howard with a single in his last at bat earlier on in this half inning. Also reached home the first run of the 5 runs that the Mustangs have scored here in the top of the 4th. Breaking ball missing up high. Just can't break enough as that was left hanging. Leaves the count at 1-1. Perotti comes home. That breaking ball missing, or fastball missing up high as well.
Leave it up, nothing above your hands, kid. Good pitch, good pitch.
Count now at 2 balls and 1 strike. Bases are loaded. We have Stanners over at third, Darden at second, Marcellus at first. And that was 2-2. I apologize. As that pitch is swung on and missed. That is a strikeout. Finally, the Scots get out of that top half of the 4th inning, but not before the Mustangs come back and take the lead. They now lead by 3 runs, 6-3 midway through 4. Bottom half of 4 coming up here from Scotland Yard, and this just in had a little stat there after that top of the 4th inning. Scott's pitchers went through 54 combined pitches in that top of the 4th inning. Mustangs scoring 5 runs in that inning, most of them off of walks, as we are ready for this bottom of the 4th inning. Due up for the Scots coming up is Andrew Zahar starting things off. He'll be followed by Henry Shearer, and then the top of the lineup, Pete McCon, will be in the hole. Zahar starting things off with a hard foul ball,
Leading off for the Scots in the bottom.
as that'll bring the count to 0-1.
Second baseman Andrew Zahar.
That 0-1 pitch just on the inside, missing just by a bit. Evens the count 1-1. Zahar, the senior, standing at 6 foot, 170 pounds. Little half swing there as he wanted, I think he wanted to check swing, but could not hold it back, as that'll bring the count to 1-2 now. Zahar with a 2-2 count as we ready this pitch. Coming in from Nathan Darden once again, missing up high, brings the count full 3-2. Darden in for his 4th inning of work as we ready for this 3-2 pitch. Misses outside for ball 4. So Zahar reaches first with a leadoff walk, bringing Henry Shearer up to the plate now. Shearer has been the catcher in both games today. Josh Bowers has not made an appearance today. As Shearer seems to have been caught wearing a piece of jewelry. Yes, he has a little necklace. So he tosses that over to the side. Parati picks it up. And now Coach Yoder is going to have a little chat with him. Shearer, the junior, superstition, don't step on the foul line, one of the most well-known traditions around the baseball world. Hopes to attend a military academy, and eventually his dream job is to be in special ops. That's either a Navy base, somewhere in that vicinity. Bunt shown, cannot make contact with it, and Zahar in a pickle as he gets caught way off first base. Play at first, and he is out at first base. Coach Leidner not happy, as he is pleading his case with the field umpire. But it doesn't look like that will do anything. Coach Yoder also going to have a little talk with the home plate umpire now. And Zahar will be called out.
At the plate, catcher Henry Shearer.
Big base running error there from Zahar as he gets caught sleeping over at first. And Shearer now comes down with an 0-2 count. Pete McCon currently on deck, sitting at 0-for-1. This one hit into right field, and that will drop foul as that heads into the bullpen. We'll stay with that 0-2 count for Shearer. Shearer 0-for-1 himself with a flyout back in the second. Once again, you're watching Highland Park Scots Baseball presented by Vista Bank. Vista Bank, entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912. This one hit over to short, and that's going to be picked up by Ponce. Throw over to first is in time for that second out. Goes as a 6-3 putout. And Pete McCon steps up to the plate now. Scots seem to have completely switched around from this morning's game. This morning's game, bats were alive, pitching through the roof. Completely switched around for this game. Can't seem to find a hit.
Left fielder, Pete McCon.
As Scots have been hitless since Patrick Turner's single in the second. Oh, 0-1 the count, 2 away. McCon with a big hack and a miss. As that brings the count to 0-2 now. The Mustangs have completely taken control of this game. Lots of momentum in this inning as that is lifted into right center field, and that's going to be Sewell making the grab for the third out. And that'll end the fourth inning. Scots go down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base. We're going to be right back. Scots trail 6-3 after 4. Fifth inning of action coming up from Scotland Yard. Scots trailing the Saxe Mustangs by a score of 6-3 after a big fourth inning of work from the Mustangs. Due up for the Mustangs going to be Braden Berloqua, followed by Carson Sewell and Jet Creel. Back on the mound for the Scots, Gavin Perotti. Back in after finishing off that fourth inning. Perotti comes set from the stretch. That ball goes foul down the third base line. Picked up by the third base coach for the Mustangs and tossed over to Perotti on the mound. Quick shout out coming up here from New York Sub, a Highland Park tradition since 1974. And also want to mention Davidson and Bogle, where land is our business. 1-2 the count to Berloqua. As that pitch is chopped towards short. That's picked up by Preston Gamster. Throw on the run is in time. Good play there from Gamster, making that quick throw while in stride. That goes down to the 6-3 putout for Carson Sewell. Sewell, the pitcher
Right fielder.
and outfielder, will be playing. He's playing in right field today, standing in as a senior in that left-handed box. Parati delivers. That first pitch misses just a bit outside, bringing the count to 1-0. Lights starting to come on here at Scotland Yard as the sun. We are approaching sunset. Sun starting to head down over the horizon. As the count evens out 1-1. That breaking ball dropping right in the strike zone. And Parati's even in the count. Ball check swing. That ball misses too far down low. Parati, favorite MLB player is Doc Ellis as he brings this one home. Big swing and a miss. For strike two, brings the count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 1 away. No runners on. Berloqua, who started off this inning, went down with his ground out as this pitch comes in missing too far outside for ball 3. Big hack there as he gets caught swinging, and Sewell goes now with a strikeout. And that's Parati's second strikeout.
The catcher, Jet Creel.
As Jet Creel steps up to the plate now. Creel, the catcher, once again sporting those work gloves instead of original batting gloves. 0-1 with 2 away now. Ball missing just up high for ball 1. Pitch from Parati, big swing and a miss there. Count goes to 1-2, 2 away. The Scots looking to get out of this inning quite an opposite fashion from last inning, as this 1-2 pitch comes in just a little far inside, evens the count 2-2. After 54 combined pitches in the top of the 4th, looking to completely turn this inning around. Ball misses down low. Full count now, 3-2 with 2 away. That's ripped down the third base line. That is caught by Hunter Kraus. And that'll end the top of the 5th inning. Much better inning in that 5th. Then back in the 4th, Mustangs go down. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. However, the Scots trail 6-3. Bottom half of the fifth, up from Highland Park High School, due up for the Scots. Starting things off is going to be Harrison Duggar. He'll be followed by Patrick Turner and Preston Gamster. Back on the mound, Nathan Darden, the senior, coming up for his fifth inning of work. Duggar digs into the left-handed box for his third plate appearance. No at-bats so far, as he has been walked twice, once on balls and once after being hit by a pitch. And both of those were back in the first and second innings. Since then, Mustangs have had really not six straight putouts, as Jack Rich ended up getting walked and then picked off. Harrison Duggar with a 2-1 count. As Darden comes home, ball hit past first and second for a base hit. Harrison Duggar starts things off in the right direction with that opening single to start things off here in the bottom of the fifth. Patrick Turner now going to step up to the plate. Turner, the designated hitter, currently at 1-for-1 with a single. He also reached with a walk. One of the 3 runs for this Scots team. Scots took a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning, and since then have had 3 straight scoreless innings. Turner's team goal, possibly one of my favorites, to not get shut down because of COVID and to make it deep into district play. Boy, I hope that happens. District will start on Tuesday. That'll be at Mesquite Poteet against the Pirates, and that'll be right here on Game On Sports. Two and one now the count. Nobody out and 1 runner on. As that ball misses too far outside. For ball 3, the hitter's count coming up to Turner. These pitchers really working the outside. A lot of them missing too far outside. That 3-1 pitch down low, and Patrick Turner reaches on a walk. Back-to-back walks for the Scots to start things off. I apologize. Duggar reached with a single. So that is the first walk of the inning. We're going to have a little mound appearance from this Saxey coach. Not going to go through a pitching change just yet, as Darden not having a bad outing since that first inning of play. And now up for the Scots, stepping up is going to be Preston Gamster, shortstop, and then Jack Curtis is going to be on deck. Change of plans, that will do it for Nathan Darden, as we're going to get a new pitcher out onto the mound, and we're going to take a little break. Scots trailing 6-3 with runners on first and second. Nobody out. We'll be right back. Back in action, bottom of the 5th inning, coming up from Scotland Yard. Highland Park Scots currently up to the plate as Preston Gamster is stepping in for his 3rd at bat. Currently 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Duggar currently at 2nd. Turner on the other hand at 1st.
Number 17, Justin Mascaro.
And now pitching for the Mustangs is going to be number 17, Justin Mascaro. Has already had action today, as I've been told.
At the plate for the Scots.
He is back on the mound for this game as well. Gamster
Shortstop, Preston Gamster.
watches this one as this one is fouled off. Brings the count to 0-1. Nobody out. Gamster currently up. Jack Curtis currently on deck. And Hunter Kraus will also see action here in this bottom of the 5th inning. Bunt attempt to lay down as that is fouled off. Pop fly almost caught by Creel, but landed just in time. Count falls to 0-2 to Gamster. Gamster hopes to play baseball at some university, wherever he goes to college. Hopes to play baseball and major in business. His dream job is to graduate and become the owner of the family business at one point. 0-2 count. That's a high fly into center field. That's going to be Marcellus making the grab, throwing it over, and no runner will advance as Gamster goes down with that F8. Duggar stays at 2nd. Turner staying at 1st. Jack Curtis stepping to the plate. Curtis ended last game 0 for 1, reaching base twice after being hit by 2 pitches. And so far in this game is 0 for 1 as well, as he has been walked once and now with a fly out in his last at bat. Called strike to start things off. 0-1 the count, 1 away. Kraus, on the other hand, 1 for 2. Had that big 2-out triple in the bottom of the 1st inning, and then a ground out in the 3rd. Big swing and a miss there from Curtis. This count goes to 0-2. Curtis again, big junior, lots of D1 football offers from Army, Air Force, San Diego State, Arizona, Lehigh, and Columbia, among others. That 0-2 count, pitch misses up high for ball 1. Count goes to 1-2. Mascaro comes home, swung on and missed. First base is occupied, and so Curtis goes down with a strikeout. That's the first strikeout for Justin Mascaro, as Hunter Kraus now steps up to the plate.
Third baseman, Hunter Kraus.
Kraus playing 3rd for the Scots in this afternoon's matchup. Afternoon turning into evening as it is just about 6 o'clock, as that ball misses outside. And with it being 6 o'clock comes dinner time. And if you have started thinking about dinner, be sure to think about Chips old-fashioned hamburgers, the best burger ever. Actually made another trip down to Chips Burgers this afternoon for lunch. Took a little different turn, had their chicken tender basket, very good as well. Ball really high fly, stays in the infield, that'll be picked up, and the catch will be made for the third out. The Scots do not score any runs on that one. No runs on one hit, no errors, and 2 left stranded. We'll be right back. After 5 innings of play, Scots trail 6-3. You're watching Highland Park Baseball on Game On Sports. Top half of the 6th coming up from Highland Park High School, Scotland Yard. Scots back in the field. Gavin Parati back on the mound as this bunt laid down the third base line. Picked up by Parati. Bare hand throw to first is not in time. Bang, bang play just a little bit late. As that was Davis T making that bunt. And into first now with a leadoff infield single. Brings up Jesse Ponce.
Shortstop, Jesse Ponce.
Ponce 1 for 3 so far with a single, a fly out, and then he reached base on a fielder's choice. However, that fielder's choice did end the inning. Throw over to first. Not in time, as we are still waiting this first pitch to the shortstop. Scots need to make a comeback here, down 3-1 runs, leading 3-0 at one point. Have gave up 6 unanswered runs so far since that 3-run first inning. First pitch to Ponce misses just low. That brings the count to 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody out, runner on first. T with a lead over at first base. Bunt shown, pulled back, runner goes, throw down from Shearer. Is in time. My goodness, what a tag there from Gamster. In midair, reached down, made the tag. Called him out, as we'll see what umpire has to say after conversing with the third base coach for the Mustangs. And that was a very short talk, as that is 1 away now. T gets thrown out at second on that cannon from Henry Shearer. And with a 1-1 count now to Ponce, we have 1 away with no runners on now. Oh, I do apologize there. Count is at 3 balls and no strikes. Three 3-0 the count. Parati comes home. That ball fouled off. That brings the count to 3-1 now. Hitters count coming up to Ponce. He digs back into the left-handed box. We're just about ready to go. Parati digs in and comes home. That's lifted in the shallow center field. That'll be brought in by Gamster for the second out. And with 2 away, that brings Kyle Stanners up to the plate now. We should be getting fairly close to the 2 hours and 15-minute marker, as we've been playing for around 2 hours now. Much of the time, thanks to that big fourth inning from the Mustangs, took probably half an hour in and of itself. Two and 0, 2 away. Pitch from Parati. Misses for ball 3. That 3-0 pitch, it finds the strike zone for strike 1. Parati trying to fight back in this game. Scott's as well, hoping to fight back, get back into this ball game. 3-1 pitch. That is a high drive down the left field line at the fence. And that is a foul catch for the third out. What a shot there from Stanners. I thought that had a chance of going over, but that ball is caught by McCann, and that will end the inning. Mustangs go down. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, none left on base after T gets picked off at second. And we'll be right back after 5.5 innings of play. Scott's down 6-3. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up here from Scotland Yard. Due up for the Scots is going to be Jack Rich. He'll be followed by Andrew Zahar and Henry Shearer. 7, 8, 9 coming up for the Scots in this what would have been 4 p.m. matchup. We started just a little bit late.
Scots in the bottom of the 6th. First baseman Jack Rich.
As Rich in the right-handed box is ready to go. That first pitch ripped down the third base line, an absolute laser that goes foul. That'll bring the count to 0-1. Back on the mound, Justin Mascaro for his second inning of action. Pitch gets away from Creel. It's going to even out the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Rich 0 for 1 so far with a strikeout back in the first, and he reached on a walk in the third. I do apologize for those technical difficulties on the stream. Scorebug went down for just a little bit, but we do have it back on and updated. 2-1 now the count. That pitch. Rich lost that one high into shallow left field, and that's going to be brought in by Ponce. So with one away, Rich goes down to 0 for 2 now, and that brings Andrew Zahar. Zahar 0 for 1 as well with a fly out, and then he also reached on a walk back in the fourth.
Brings up second baseman Andrew Zahar.
Zahar sends this one foul, bouncing over the traffic, heading into a neighboring yard. And that breaking ball gets away from Mascaro, what would have been a breaking ball. Instead, that goes behind Zahar and evens out the count 1-1. And instead of Shearer, that's going to be Jack Jackson on deck, awaiting his first at bat. Two and 1 the count. Mascaro comes home. Zahar fouls that one off. That'll even out the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zahar at 6 foot, 170 pounds. Favorite MLB player is Troy Tulowitzki. As that ball swung on and missed, he got him swinging. Zahar goes down with a strikeout. He's now 0 for 2. Jack Jackson stepping up to the plate. So Shearer not getting an at bat in this inning, as he is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out. Jackson has not had an at bat so far in this game. He did play didn't play in this morning's game either. As this is his first at bat of the day.
Now batting for the Scots, number 7, Jack Jackson.
Jackson yesterday ended 0 for 1, only played 1 game against the Keller Indians and had a strikeout and then 2 walks. Looking for that first hit of the weekend here, as that pitch is a called strike. Evens out the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 away, the Scots looking for their first base runner here in the bottom of the 6th. That 1-1 pitch down low for ball 2. Jack Rich and Andrew Zahar have both gone down in this inning. Rich, a fly out to short, and then Zahar, who we just witnessed, with a strikeout. And that swing and a miss brings up a 2-2 count. Jackson in the left box. Here's the pitch. Ball too far inside. Brings the count to full 3-2. Jackson 6'3", 175 pounds, as this one is flied and fouled. That'll keep the count full at 3-2. Jackson's deserted island item would be his Xbox. As I mentioned earlier, little unfortunate. No Wi-Fi, no TV. Good idea, just not really thought all the way through from Jackson. really just turns into a box, not really an Xbox. 3-2 the count, 2 away. Misses for ball 4. Jackson reaches with a full count walk. And that'll bring Pete McCon back up to the plate.
Left fielder, Pete McKinney.
Runner on first now, McCon watches that one. He now has a 1-0 count. McCon currently at 0 for 2, had a strikeout in the first, fly out in the fourth, reached with an error in the second, and then ended up reaching third before the inning ended. Pitch from Mascaro is a called strike, evens the count 1-1. One last quick shout out to Rimrock Partners, as well as Vista Bank, entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912. 1-1, 2 away. McCon fouls that one off his foot as the count comes to 1-2 with 2 away. McCon at 6'2", 175 as that pitch misses outside. Lunging Creel to make that grab. Evens the count 2-2. And the Hats are shaking in the Scots dugout. McCon's favorite player, Ronald Acuna Jr. Or Ronald Acuna Jr. Three and two, 2 away. Full count coming to McCon. And that is ball 4. Back-to-back walks now for the Scots. Harrison Duggar now stepping up to the plate for his 4th plate appearance. Currently 1 for 1 with reached base with 2 walks and then had a single back in the 5th. And we're going to have a little plate or mound meeting between the coach, Creel, and Mascaro. Not going to take him out just yet. Just saying, hey, we've been good up until now. Let's not stop now. And that's going to bring Harrison Duggar up at the plate. And he's going to be with a single in his last at bat. Ended up reaching second before that inning ended. Duggar watches that one go on the outside. Count goes to 1-0 now. Turner, designated hitter, awaiting his 4th at bat, currently sitting on deck. As that pitch is a called strike, evens out the count 1-1. 1-1, 2 away. Scots down to their last 4 outs. This pitch is swung on, and that'll be fouled. It goes out of the field of play, landing just behind the Scots dugout, bringing up a 1-2 count with 2 away. Count even at 2-2 after that ball misses a little low, went and just past the knees of Duggar. Duggar with that signature wide stance that we've been talking about all season long. 2-2, here's the pitch. That ball fouled off as well. And we're going to stay at 2-2. Duggar claims the 2020 team goal is to win state, which would be an outstanding achievement for this Scots team, as it is for any team to win state in any given year. Count remains at 2-2. Justin Mascaro comes set. He looks at second and comes home. Hit down to first. That'll be picked up by Howard. Howard will step on the bag, and that will end the 6th inning of play. Scots go down quietly. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left stranded. And we'll be right back. After 6 innings of play, Scots trail 6-3. And this just in, Coach Yoder yelling at these umpires who, this could be ball game. We've been playing just about for 2 hours and 15 minutes. It is 6:20 p.m. Yoder talking to the umpires, seeing how things are going to go. And they're going to call ball game. Yoder not happy at all, as he's still pleading his case with the umpires, but it looks like it will do no good as we have passed time limits. So that will do it. Scots go down 6-3 over the Saxe Mustangs. Scots end 1-1 for the day and go to 3-1. Or 1-3, that is, for the weekend. But join us tomorrow morning. That'll be at 11 a.m. from Prosper High School against the Prosper Eagles. For everyone involved in today's broadcast, for our producer, Fred Garner, my name is Lincoln Rebel saying good night from Highland Park High School and Scotland Yard. God bless, Scots fans.